We are back. It is taking the Mikel. It's been a while, in fact. Loads on the agenda over this upcoming episode. Going to be talking Chelsea returning to winning ways. Mo Salah will get a mention. Jamie Carragher might as well. And we're going to be talking African Cup of Nations.
Yep.
Morgan Rogers, Phil Foden. It's going to be a busy old show, Johnny boy.
Busy morning today.
It is.
Yeah, festive period, mate.
It is.
It's Christmas soon, yeah.
Can I say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas, yeah, in advance, mate.
You've been a good boy this year?
Yeah, I've been a good boy.
Good.
I think I've made Santa's Christmas list today.
The good list.
This year. So I'm hoping for a good present. Hopefully we get to win a lot of our Christmas games, and that will be my Christmas present.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Chelsea, we've got to get into them. So much to talk about. You and I were talking before.
Yeah.
Hitting record today. I know you've got a lot that you want to get off your chest regarding Mo Salah. We're going to get to all of that. But John, we start with your beloved Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's been a difficult 10 days or so. Back to winning ways.
Yeah.
Enzo Maresca still not happy with someone. I'm just glad it's not us. Because we didn't do a take in the Mikel last week.
Yeah.
He said there's been a lot of negativity. It ain't us.
No, the managers come out and gone on after the game and gone on a little rant. But
it's not us.
No, it's not us. Listen, we love Enzo on this pod. We've said so many times how I think he's a brilliant manager. He's a manager that I think they can always bring the best out of this young squad, this young team that we have. And it's always brilliant to see him do well. I like Enzo. I think he's the manager for this squad to bring out the best for this team. I think he's the guy. Obviously, yes, we had a difficult 10 days. A rough, sticky period, I call it that way. You know, we've hadn't won the games that we should have won. You know, drew to Arsenal, lost to Leeds, and drew against Bournemouth. But then again, came back to winning ways against Everton, which is good to see and good for the team, for the squad going into this difficult festive period, which is going to be tough. A lot of games coming thick and fast. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this young team are going to cope with that, because it is going to be very, very busy. So for us, it's about winning games. It's about making sure that we compete. I think this is where the Premier League is won and lost. This festive period, I've talked about it so many times. You know, teams think it's a jolly period, you know, to enjoy Christmas, to enjoy the festive period. No, this is the time that the Premier League actually starts. This is where you win points, you drop points, you win the Premier League, and you lose the Premier League. So for us, I think it was good to get back to winning ways. Cole Palmer back, you know, scoring again,
goals.
You know, doing what he does best, creating chances, scoring goals. It's always nice to see Cole Palmer on the pitch. I think when he's on the pitch, you know, we play well. We're a different team.
Yeah.
But it's also a shame that obviously Caicedo is still serving his red card ban. So he's going to be back for the next game. But it's a huge miss for us, isn't it? You can see the games that he's not played in the Premier League. We haven't won. He's massive for us. Make no mistake about that. Caicedo is huge, massive for us. But I think the team, you know, we've done okay. We haven't done brilliant this past 10 days. But, you know, we're learning, we're growing as a team. I think there's been a lot of criticism aimed towards the manager. Some of them I can understand, some of them I don't. You know, when he always does this inverted right backs come into the midfield to create an overload in the midfield. The midfield is where the games are won and lost. You know, if you're able to control and dominate that midfield, you have 70% chance of winning a game, because that's where the games are won. And when he does that, when he brings those two, you know, fullbacks into the midfield, it's to create an overload so that we can have an extra body in that midfield. And when he works perfectly well.
It does.
It's amazing when he works. In the big games, he works perfectly well. But then when he doesn't, of course, you know, the pundit, the critics are very quickly to jump on him and say, oh, what are you doing? You think, yes, does he think a lot sometimes during games? Probably that's what you get when you've been under Pep Guardiola, because he's that guy, isn't he? He thinks a lot about the game. He thinks, how can I affect the game? How can I change this game? How can I change what's going on? And Enzo Maresca has learned that from Pep. Sometimes, yes, he does think a lot about what he does, the decisions that he makes, and some of the changes that he makes as well, the rotation. We have a young squad. When I was young, you know, you talk about it when you're young, you want to play every game. You're not tired.
No.
I hate when I hear young players saying, I'm tired. No, you're not fucking tired. You're 20 years old, 22, 23 years old. You can play 3-4 games in a row in a week and you still be fresh. You still be fresh because your recovery time is quicker. You can recover as quickly as possible. So for him to rest these young players and saying, oh, because they're not tired, Enzo. Play your best team. Play your best squad. So you know what I mean? Maybe, is it because of injury-wise? I can get that. Because we don't want to be losing players for 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months. So for me, that's where sometimes I can understand with the fans, I can understand with the criticism, but also when his tinkering works, it works perfectly well.
It does work very well. He's tinkered a lot. In fact, no team in the Premier League has made more changes.
Too many
starting
changes.
11
Too many
than
changes.
Enzo.
Yeah.
You make the point. A lot of young players there, John. He's mixing and matching. He's obviously looking at his opponents. He's coming up with solutions to perhaps, in some cases, there's maybe not the problem that he's actually trying to find a solution for. Ultimately, you're very much of the opinion your best 11 should play more often than not.
Your best 11 should. And you can see that with Pep Guardiola and Arsenal as well. Pep, when his team is winning, he rarely changes. Rarely changes. It doesn't matter who he plays. He rarely changes. So for me, sometimes I can understand the criticism with Enzo when he starts every game. There's a change. There's a rotation. As players, sometimes, as squad, as a team, when you're winning, you want to be in the team. You want to be in the squad. And you sort of create that sort of mentality, that sort of chemistry between each other because you play every time together. Week in, week out, you playing against, someone who's next to you, you sort of create that sort of chemistry together. So when you play well and the next game, you're out of the team, it just creates a lot of confusion. And for me, that's what I see with this team. I just hope that he learns from it and he plays more of our starting 11, the bench squad. Play your best players, play your best 11. Because we have to go on a run. We have to go on a winning run. And it's important to keep that mentality, that team, that winning team. Don't change too much. I can understand when it comes, in terms of injuries. I can understand that. But when you start changing too much, it sort of affects the rhythm of the squad, the rhythm of the team. And that's where everybody's all over the place. So for me, I hope he learns from that. I like Enzo. I think Enzo, for me, he should stay. He's the manager for this squad. And I've said it so many times, and I will continue to say it. I think we're growing. We're growing in the right direction. Are we going to go on and win the Premier League this season? I've said it so many times. I don't think so. I don't think we have the mentality or the experience to go on and win the Premier League this season. We need to get a bit more consistency. There's not enough consistency in the team. I think that's something that's hurting us a lot. We win today, tomorrow you don't know what you're going to expect from the team. We lose. So for me, the consistency should be there. Once we can be able to sort that part out, I think we have a very good squad to compete for the Premier League. In the next 2 seasons, I don't think we can go on to win the league this season. But if we're there come the end of the season, of course, why not? Compete and go for it. Try to win it. But right now, I just think the Arsenal, the Man City, Villa are on fire right now. So for me, I think those teams are just right now above us, but we are playing well. We're doing well. We just have to find a bit of that consistency. If we can be able to find that consistency and go on a little run of winning games, 2, 3, 4 games in a row, I think we should be there.
You use the word consistency, and it's the theme that kind of runs through this team.
Yeah.
Consistency of performances and results, getting those 4, 5, 6 wins.
Consistency is also having 11 players finish the game as well.
Well, there's that, but also the consistency of team selection.
Yeah, exactly.
You said it, John. In order to build that rhythm, to build the cohesion, you need 11 players that you're like, that's our best team.
Yeah.
Now just go on a little run, playing that 11.
Yeah, Mourinho was master at that. Mourinho, when his team is winning, he rarely changes. He trusts his 11 team. Sometimes he was so arrogant. He goes in a press conference and names his 11. He said, he's playing. You know who's starting the game? This is my starting 11. And I'm not going to change because we're on a run. We're on a run. Sometimes when you change too much, it affects the rhythm of the team. You affect the rhythm of the way the team plays. Because when you're playing and you're winning games and all of a sudden you're out of the squad, you don't know what's happened. And as players, it plays in your head as well. So for me, Enzo should find that starting 11 and stick to it. Stick to it. Whether we win a game, lose a game, stick to it. Give them a little run. Give them 2, 3, 4, 5 games and see what happens.
The other thing, John, I would argue is not everyone, and I appreciate you might think to yourself they're being paid 150, 200 grand a week. They've got to be professional. But we know, and you'll certainly know from playing in the game, that some players need that consistency of performances to find their optimum,
rhythm.
to find their rhythm and their top level. It's a skill to actually come in and out of a team and immediately hit the ground running with a 10 out of 10 performance.
Straight away, exactly especially when you're a young team as well, a young player growing up, you play one game and you play well, and all of a sudden the manager hooks you out and say you're not starting the next game. How do you mentally deal with that as well? Come back to the next game and straight away try to keep that rhythm of the last game where you played so well. It's kind of difficult to keep that, especially in the Premier League where every game is so difficult. Every game is incredibly difficult. So for me, those young players, we find it very, very difficult to come back to the team and straight away find that rhythm that they had in the previous game where they felt they played really well and they should have started the next game. It's difficult. And that's where the manager also needs to play a massive part in terms of how do I manage these players? How do I get them to buy into what I want them to do? How do I want them to understand that they don't got to start every game? It's my responsibility to make sure that I get the best out of them, because when you stop and start, it's difficult as a young player to come back straight away into the team and find that rhythm. So Enzo needs to find a way to deal with that situation. I can understand his worries are not to lose the players for a long time in terms of injury-wise. I get that. But every team in the Premier League is dealing with the same issue. You can't be saving those players. And we're going on bad runs.
Yeah.
We're going on sticky runs. Get your best 11, give them a run of 4 or 5 games, and see what happens. If not, then chop and change. But right now, I feel that he needs to find a bit of consistency. We talk about consistency of not winning the game. We talk about consistency of losing the games, of players not playing well. Also, the manager needs to find the consistency of selecting same 11 for give them a run of games and see what happens. I like Enzo. I think he's a fantastic manager. Coming towards the end of last season, we saw what he did with this team, where we went on to win a couple of trophies. And everybody was saying, oh, what an amazing manager Enzo Maresca is. So we can't judge him right now when we've lost a couple of games. I think he's a brilliant manager, brilliant young manager that is good for this squad, that can get the best out of this squad. And you can see also, the players absolutely love him. The players play for the manager. You can tell when players like a manager and they're playing for the manager, you can tell. And I can see that this squad, these young players, they love the manager. They play for the manager. They enjoy him being the manager. So for me, that's something that we shouldn't lose. We're growing as a team. We're growing as a young team. But I just love to see us get a bit of consistency. Get to see us go on a little run where we can win 2, 3, 4, 5 games and then can get ourselves back into that title content. Are we going to go on and win it? I don't think we can win the Premier League this season just because Arsenal are way, they're just a level above us right now. And City, you can tell, like, they're coming back. So for us this season, it's about making sure we finish in the top 4.
The next 5 games, John, they're going to be huge this festive period traditionally as well. Chelsea, certainly in recent years,
haven't done well.
They've not done well
No.
in the month of December. The next 5, this does not make for good reading. Newcastle away, and that comes after Cardiff midweek in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. Of course, trophy on the line there if Chelsea win the next 3. But in the Premier League, St James's Park at the weekend.
That's going to be tough.
Aston Villa then at the Bridge, a couple of days after the big man in red has been. Then it's Bournemouth at the Bridge on the 30th. They then go to the City, Etihad Stadium for City on the 4th. And then they're at Craven Cottage against Fulham on the 7th of January. That's the next 5.
Those are very difficult games. Very, very difficult games you've just mentioned there.
Newcastle away.
Newcastle away,
City away.
which should be a game that is going to be very, very difficult. Newcastle, we know away form is not good enough, but at home they've made that place a fortress. They always seem to play well at home. They always seem to win the big games at home. So I think they're going to be up for that game. They tend to find their form when they play against big teams at home. So, and the fans are always going to be there behind the team, supporting, screaming and shouting. So I think that's going to be a difficult game for us. And then we talk about, Fulham as well, a derby, and it's going to be, again, another difficult game, another very, very difficult game for us. City, difficult game. So the next 5 games is going to be very, very difficult. And this is the Premier League, and this is the festive period. This is where, if you're a football fan, you enjoy this period. Yeah. I used to enjoy this festive period because, you can't get enough football, can you, on TV? It's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's football.
Every day.
Every day. And we enjoy it. We love it. You're having your Christmas family time with your family. You every channel you turn on, there's football going on. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see that. And we, like history-wise, you've just said it, we haven't done well in the past couple of seasons. Recently, when in terms of, the festive period when the games comes thick and fast. So it will be interesting to see if we've learned from last season, the past couple of seasons, if we've learned our mistakes, because this, again, I've said it so many times, this is the difficult part of the season. The Christmas period, the festive period. Where you're thinking, mentally wise, am I ready? Everybody's enjoying their family time with their parents, with their family. And if you're not English and you've come from a different country, Brazil, wherever you come from, usually you enjoy your Christmas period. Usually you get Christmas break. But here in the Premier League, you don't fucking get a Christmas break, do you? No. It is the most difficult time as well. You go to training, you play games. There's no breaks. There's no breaks. Are those players, new players that have come from different countries, are they ready for the Premier League? Are they ready for this festive period where usually they're with their families at home, enjoying a glass of red wine, having a turkey, enjoying, Christmas? You can't do that here. You can't do that. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to go. This is the difficult time of the season. So it will be interesting to see, mentally wise, how we deal with it. How we deal with this festive, because we have to win our games. The next 5 games is very, very difficult games. I think the City one is going to be very, very difficult. City are back playing well again. They're winning games. Even when they're not playing well, they find a way of winning. And you talk about champions mentality. That's what they have. Yeah. Pep Guardiola looks like he's got something on, under his sleeves where he's not, that he's not bringing out. But you can see him right now. He's speaking with a lot of confidence. There's a bit more smile. There's a bit more calm in his demeanor, the way he speaks. Pre-match conferences, post-match conferences. There's something there. He knows. He can smell something. He can smell something. There's something bubbling that he can smell. So City look like they're back. Newcastle game is going to be very, very difficult for us. Everton is going to be difficult. Fulham is going to be difficult. So for us, Villa as well, look like they're flying. So for me, the games are going to come thick and fast. And how do we deal with it? We have to make sure that we're up for it. Because if we're not up for it, and don't prepare well the way we should be, we're going to be looking at ourselves, scrambling in the middle of the table, and that's not where we want to be.
That's it. The next 5, not only will it determine whether Chelsea are in a title tussle, depending on the way the results go, it will determine whether you're in a top 4 tussle. I want to talk on mentality. I remember sat here with you. In fact, we were in London recording the episode on this particular edition, where Enzo came out to say we are not in a title race, and you were raging.
I lost it.
You did. You were frustrated at that kind of rhetoric going out into the public. 12 months later, John, and I think you know where I'm going with this. After that win against Everton at the weekend, Enzo's called it the worst 48 hours of his Chelsea tenure. He said, and I quote here, "Many people don't support us." Is this
interesting? More
mental kind of mind games from Enzo? Last year, he was ruling out Chelsea as a title contender. It backfired. Is this him trying to foster a little bit of a siege mentality? Is this him really the message to the players? He's trying to reinforce his lads, we're in this together.
Yeah.
It's us against them.
Yeah.
Is this what he's trying to do?
Yeah, probably you can say that. I think there's nothing wrong with a manager demanding a lot from his players. I think he's probably learned from the mistake from last season where he came out and said, we're not title contenders. And I was absolutely fuming. I was raging because as a manager, you can't come out and say that, especially last season. We were in it.
Yeah, you were.
We were in it.
Fantastic.
At some point, we were top of the table or second. For a very long time, we were. Exactly. And when he came out and said that, all of a sudden, our form, and we went through the sticky patch where we sort of lost it. So for me, it's good to see that the managers learned from his mistake from last season. What he says, what the manager comes out and says on TV, to the media, make no mistake about that. Your players, they listen, they watch. And if you come out and you're positive and you're demanding a lot from your players, they know that. They can see that.
Yeah.
But if you come out and say, oh, no, we're not title contenders, they're going to think, fucking hell, we're just going to sit back and do nothing because the managers come out and say, we're not title contenders. We're going to lose a couple of games and it should be fine. No, you're not. This is Chelsea Football Club. This is the culture of the football club. Winning titles. competing to win the league, competing to win titles. So I think Enzo has learned from his mistake from last season. And this season, you can see that he's demanding a lot from his team, from his squad, making the players understand that this is a club that wins titles. This is a club that goes all the way to the end in terms of competing to win the Premier League. And he is right to do that. He's right to demand that from these young players, this young squad. Yes, so many times we've talked about how young they are. Yes, the young squad. But you can also demand from them. You can also try to push them. Demand from the players. Make them understand this is a club that wins trophies. And it's good to see that Enzo is doing that. Pushing the players and demanding that from the players. Yes, it's always us against, it's always Chelsea against everybody else. He should know that. If you're on a big team, you have to win trophies. It's a game of results. It's a business of results. You have to perform. You have to deliver. He knows that. He's not stupid. He knows that. But and if you're not delivering, of course everybody has the right to criticize you. Of course. The media has the right to criticize you.
Fans.
The fans has the right to criticize you. Because you're in Chelsea Football Club. We win trophies.
But do you agree many people don't support us? Is that him trying, again, and the journalist then asked, well who, Enzo? And he kind of got a bit...
It's definitely not us. It's definitely not the Obionepodcast. Because here on this podcast, I can say it, categorically say that, yes, we are Enzo fans. We are Chelsea football fans. I'm a Chelsea fan.
You are.
It's my club. It's my football club. And I will always be positive about this football club. But when something is not going right, I will also say it.
You will say it.
I will also say it. Sometimes the fans, the players, the club, they don't like it. I've had phone calls where, where it didn't go down well. And be gentle with us, be kind.
But
I am. But when something is wrong, I also have to say it.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am. I say it the way it is. But I like Enzo. And yes, everybody. You can't come out and say it's us against. No, it's not, Enzo. It's a game of results. It's a game of performance. If you're not performing, everybody has the right to criticize you. You have to be strong enough. You have to be mentally strong enough to be able to deal with that. And I don't like that. I like when he come out and demand that from his players, but not to whine and cry about the media criticizing you. Because when you do that, you're showing your players that mentally you're not strong enough. As a manager, you should be strong enough, mentally strong enough to know, no, you know what, bring it on. Bring it on. We can take it. Mentally wise, we can take it. I can take it. And I'm sure my players can take it. So for him coming out and whining and crying, it's not going to solve the problem. He needs to be mentally strong because his players are watching him. Your demeanor, the way you conduct yourself, what you speak, what you say, your players are watching you and they will follow.
So what, I guess, keeps the wolves from the door? I mean, it's the obvious, point. Win football matches.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the next 5, I'm going to pop you on the spot. I know you always wear blue tinted glasses. But honestly speaking, from what you've seen of this Chelsea team, the mixing and matching, the little bit of inconsistency in performances, certainly the inconsistency in results. What's a good return from the next 5? 15 points up for grabs. Newcastle away, Villa at home, Bournemouth at home, City away, Fulham away. How many points do you take from that? If I offered you 10 right now, would you take it?
I'll snap your finger off.
For 10?
I'll snap your arm off for 10.
So that would be, 10.
But
3 wins, a draw and a defeat from that 5.
The way we're playing, Cole Palmer is back. Caicedo is going to be back.
Yes.
I think we'll be a much better team, a stronger team. I reckon 10, 9-10 points I think we'll probably get from those games. I think the City game is going to be tough.
Away.
I think away, if we can get a draw.
Newcastle away.
Newcastle will be tough.
And Villa.
Villa, the way they're playing right now, they're absolutely on fire, Villa. So that's going to be another difficult game. But again, we've said it so many times. The big games brings out the best out of us. The big game,
it'll be 3
wins. It's where we play so well. It's where everything just clicks for this team. Everything clicks for Enzo Maresca and this squad.
It's true.
You have Reece James playing that midfield role alongside Caicedo. You have Interesting to see where Enzo Fernandez plays, if he's going to play Cole Palmer in the number 10 or Enzo Fernandez as a number 10, because I'm 100% sure that Cole Palmer is going to be Caicedo and Reece James in the big games. 100%.
Right.
100%.
So where does Cole fit?
Where does Cole fit in that position? My personal opinion, I don't want to see him on the wide. I've said this so many times. He's more effective. He's more involved in the game when he plays as a number 10, when he plays in front of those two, where he's involved in everything going on. That's where I want to see him. But it's going to be interesting to see where the manager plays him. The big games, and all these games you've mentioned are big games. In the big games, we tend to play very well. We tend to find a way of playing around those pressure. You know, the big teams, they come out and they press us. You know, it's an open game. We're more creative, we're more relaxed, we play well, we're courageous with the ball, we're brave with the ball. And that's what helps us in the big games, because we're not scared to hold the ball, we're not scared to make mistakes. But in the smaller games, we've said it so many times, the so-called smaller games are the games that
tripping you up.
But we can't fucking find a way of winning the smaller games.
That's why Cole, him coming back,
it's ridiculous,
and finding form will be
the big games. We're so good.
Yeah,
we're absolutely fantastic. But then come the smaller teams, the so-called smaller teams. Because in the Premier League now, trust me, there's no smaller teams. But when you play against the Sunderlands, against the Leeds, the promoted side, we've just drawn and lost to, it's incredible that we don't find a way of winning those games. So many times last season, I said it, we drew way too many of those games. We lost and drew so many of those smaller teams last season. And that's what's come and beat us last season, come towards the end of the season. And that's what we look back, come at the end of the season, and we're thinking, fucking hell, how the fuck did we draw all those games? How did we not win those smaller teams? And that's what's happening against this season. That's what Enzo Maresca needs to find a way. I have no idea. It's not my fucking job to find a solution for him. That's why I'm not a manager.
You can just talk about it on the podcast. That's the beauty. We can say
it's his job. He spent the big boss to find a solution.
Yeah.
That's why he's a Chelsea manager. He needs to find a solution of how we can win those so-called smaller games. Because if you keep winning those games and you're drawing the bigger teams, or you're picking up points from the smaller team and the bigger teams, come the end of the season, you'll be in a much better place.
You'll be there or thereabouts.
Thereabout. But we're not doing that. We consistently fail to win those smaller. Yes, we did beat Everton, but yeah. But we've drawn a lot of those games again this season. And it is something that Enzo Maresca, I don't know how he's going to do it, but it is something he needs to find a way. Because when teams comes and sit and say, you know what, Chelsea Football Club, we know you have Cole Palmer. We know you have João Pedro, Garnacho, Pedro Neto. Come and break us down. Come on. Let's see what you have. We consistently we don't find a way of doing that. We should be at this point right now, find a way of finding the solution. How do we break them down? Is this something that he needs to give? I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. Is this something, okay, you know what, we like go, oh, here you go. You can have the ball. Come on, tackle us. Come on, attack us. Yeah, here you go. You can have the ball. Here you go.
That's not Enzo's way.
When they do that, then they leave themselves exposed. When we have the ball, we can go as quickly as possible and make sure we counterattack.
But not that you've played at the bridge. You can't do that.
But you can't do that at the bridge. But I'm just trying to find a solution here. I'm tinkering like Enzo Maresca.
That's why you're here, mate. If you gave the ball to the opposition at the bridge, there would be a mutiny. You know it. And that's not the way Enzo doesn't play that way.
I'm trying to find a solution. I'm trying to help Enzo here. But honestly, we have to find a way of winning. Because if you look at the Peps, you know, the City, you know, why they've been so successful over the years, winning the Premier League 6 times, 4 in a row. They know, Pep Guardiola knows games that he has to win, a must-win game, games that you can't look back at the end of the season and think, you know what, that's cost us the Premier League. Yeah. Those are the games that cost us the Premier League. We should have won those games. We should have, could have. That's what you'll be talking about come the end of the season, and we don't want to be doing that. So for me, again, that's why when I look at us, we don't have the squad right now to go on and win the Premier League. It's obvious. We all know that. We all know that. We can all see that. Next season, we have to strengthen. And we have to, honestly, if the club don't strengthen in the centre backs and bring in at least one top centre back, at least one, because Levi Cole is going to come back from his injury. At least one top centre-back. And a top goalkeeper. Top goalkeeper.
We'll be in this position again.
We will be in a much better position next season. And I'm sure the club knows that. They have to do that. But this season, we have to finish in the top 4. The top 4 is where I see us because, I think the Arsenal and the City, they're just above us. And I think those two, between them, one of them is going to go on and win the Premier League. But again, if we find ourselves come April, May, we're thereabout, why not? Go for it. Compete to win it. But right now, I just think the inconsistency that we've had this season is probably what's cost us where we are right now.
And I don't disagree with any of that. One team that is now starting to show the consistency, I guess, that Chelsea would love to be having is Man City. I've got to say well done to you because you actually came in, and I monitor our social media, John. A couple of weeks ago, you said, you watch City a lot, I know you do, and you said, listen, Phil Foden, I'm starting to get a feeling that boy is getting back to the Phil Foden that we saw not last season, but the season before. And one or two comments. What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely spot on because Phil Foden is in this little rich vein of form. 6 goals in his last 4 Premier League outings. Throw in an assist in there as well. It's the Phil Foden of old that we're starting to see. He's pulling the strings.
He's pulling the strings. He's the Phil Foden that we, as a football fan, we love to watch good players. We love to watch creative players. We enjoy watching. Not that we also love to watch the number 6, the defensive midfield players. You know what I mean?
Do we?
But you love to watch a number 10, a good number 10, a creative number 10, a maverick of a number 10, a player that likes to try stuff, a player that likes to create chances, score goals. 2 seasons ago, Phil Foden was absolutely fantastic for Manchester City. He was unplayable at some point.
Player of the year.
Player of the year. Amazing. Everything he touched was turned to goal. He was absolutely fantastic. He was pulling the strings. He was creating chances. He was scoring goals. Everything he was doing was absolutely fantastic. And then they went in on this sticky patch last season where they were absolutely shit. And he was, he struggled massively.
A lot of issues off the pitch.
A lot of issues off the pitch. Seems like he wasn't happy. And Pep Guardiola's always said it. When a manager knows his player, and knows the buttons and knows what it takes for his players to perform. Pep Guardiola absolutely knows what it takes for Phil Foden to perform. He knows him really, really well. He knows how to get the best out of Phil Foden. He's in an absolutely fantastic form. We said it here in the pod, he's back playing. This is the Phil Foden that we all know. That ability of that first touch. He has one of the best first touches in the Premier League. That touch, that turn, when he gets the ball, everything goes through him. He's pulling the strings now. He's playing with a lot of freedom. He's enjoying himself. He looks much, much happier. He looks hungry. He wants to win. He wants to help the team play well. Everything he's doing again this season just brings you back to the Phil Foden of 2 seasons ago. He looks absolutely unplayable. 4 goals in last season's game?
6
in 4. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The goal against Crystal Palace as well. The turn as well and the finish was absolutely brilliant. He looks right now that he's unplayable. He's playing well. City are playing well. And it's just good to see him enjoying his game. He's playing with a lot of freedom. He looks much happier. And Pepper said it. If Phil is happy, if Phil Foden is happy, everything else comes.
Yeah.
Everything else just falls in place. He looks much happier. He looks like he's enjoying himself. The team, in general, everybody looks like they're hungry again to win. They're running much more. Last season, they looked like they're so leggy. They couldn't run. They couldn't compete. But this season, everybody's running. They're tackling. They're fighting. And that's what Pep demands from his squad. Don't play well every game, but run. The least you can do, the least that I demand from you, is run. Fucking run.
Work. Yeah.
Work hard. And if you look at City this season, they're running more than any other team. I think the stat shows that they run more than any other team in terms of running. And you can see that when they play. We can see that when they play. So Phil Foden is just back to his best. He's playing well. And it's also nice to see Ryan Xhaka playing well as well. He's also another one that
he looks leaner.
He looks leaner. He looks fitter. And that's what it takes to play for this Manchester City side. It's what it takes to play for Pep. You have to be fit.
He does look.
You have to be, your body fat has to be in the right place. He looks leaner. He looks
He
fitter.
does.
He's running. His pace is much more better compared to when he started.
I agree. He's a bit sluggish.
He was a bit sluggish. He was a bit heavy. But now Renjeki looks like, everything he's doing as well. Him and Phil in that pocket. City just seems like they're finding their form in the right time. And of course, who knows who's the best in terms of going on a run? It's Pep Guardiola.
It's City. You're right.
It's City and Pep Guardiola. They are the best in terms of going on a 10, 15 games run of unbeaten and going on to win the Premier League. But the question is, can this new City side do it? When you have Arsenal, the best team right now, you have Villa right now, the best team right now in the Premier League, Arsenal, the best squad. Are they capable of going on that 10, 15 run in terms of winning those games and going on to win the Premier League? I don't think this City side has that mentality. I don't think they have that squad to go on that little run that they usually do. But I think there's something there bubbling that Pep can see. You can see in his demeanor right now, the way he speaks. There's something. He's happy, but calm happy. There's something that he's hiding under his sleeves that he's not bringing out. His demeanor is more calm compared to last season where he was scratching his head, trying to draw blood out of his head. And everything was just going against him last season. Everyone was going against him. But this season, I think he's found a way of, most importantly, dealing with the media. Because last season, he lost it. When you've not been in that position of losing, which he's not been, Pep has not, he wasn't used to it. He struggled to manage. He struggled to handle that. It was so difficult for him to manage that situation last season where they were losing games. He couldn't find a solution. He came out in the press and he was just all over the place. It was all over the gaff. So this season, he's found a way, not only dealing with the media, but also dealing with the players, the squad, in terms of when they lose a game or draw a game, they bounce back pretty quickly. He doesn't want to get caught up in that 1 game, 2 game losing streak. No. Lose a game, draw a game, but next game, you have to make sure you win again. Get yourself back in that title contention. And that's something that this City side are doing really well this season.
We spoke about it earlier on. A lot of change at that football club. There's been a churn of players. Pep Linders is now in as his number 2.
Yep.
Colo Torre is in as a key member of that backroom staff as well. So new faces off the pitch. Pep Linders, from my understanding, has a big say in how City set up and how they go about. Yeah. So it was always going to take them a bit of time to get to where they're at. But there is that signs, to your point, John, that something is bubbling.
Something is bubbling. And credit to Pep. Fair play to Pep. A manager as successful as Pep Guardiola is can easily say, you know what? Fuck off. I don't need to learn from anyone. Why are you bringing Pep Linders? What am I going to learn from him? I'm Pep Guardiola. I am the best. I am the greatest manager ever. He can easily say that. And he's earned the right to say that. Fair play to the man. He said, you know what? I can always improve.
Yes.
I can always learn. I can always get better. How do I get better? How do I improve? How do I get my team back to winning ways? And he's brought in Pep Linders to come and help him. Colo Torre as well to come and help him.
It's true.
A leader is not somebody that's always say, I'm right. It's all about me. A leader is somebody who can say, you know what? I can learn from anyone. I can always improve. There's always room for me to improve and get better. And that's what Pep has done this season. Brought in people that can help him. And you can see that that's something. You can see that the team is not only playing the Pep way, but also there's a little bit of change the way they play. They're a bit more in transition now. They're quicker to go on the goal. They're quick in transition. And that's something you can see that's come from Pep Linders as well.
It is, from Liverpool.
From Liverpool. Right. So it's good to see that. A manager as good as Pep Guardiola can always say, you know what? I want to learn. I want to get better. Give me all the information you have. I want to soak it in. I want to get better. Yes, I've won what? 50 trophies or whatever he's won?
So what has he won?
Close to that. But he still wants to improve. He still wants to learn. And it's good to see that. And I love to see that. And that's what leaders are made of.